Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. For today's video, we're going to talk about analysis of the development of critical thinking instrument test and physics. Abstract. The critical thinking is an instrument that contains essential indicator of thinking, test critical thinking ability. The purpose of this study is to examine instrument development method, test instrument forms, question indicator, instrument feasibility, test, research subject, instrument of application media, analysis of this study, test instrument result, learning methods, and physics theory. The research studied library research, applying the bibliometric method. The research step is collecting, selection, secondary data of research article through publish or BOP. Application using Google Scholar and Scopus in database in 2016 to 2020.
Introduction. Education requires contextual learning that require critical thinking. Creative thinking and communicatively. Indonesia experienced a decrease in quality of education through PISA or Program of International Student Assessment. Survey result in 2018, one component of PISA is critical thinking skills, critical thinking and problem-solving skills, alternative solution from a various point of view. Alternative solution from a various point of view to obtain information and intervention accordingly to a rich flow. Individual have a high critical thinking and ability to interpret, evaluate, and interpret and explain. They can diagnose a problem. Interpretational individuals are highly critical thinking, can meet five aspects of simple explaining, further critical thinking and predicting a combining information. Assessment of critical thinking in test instrument is verifying and predicting and combining information. Assessment of critical thinking test instrument is a qualitative and contextual explore through process to solve a problem by thinking and construction state to conclude. Therefore, critical thinking assessment and crucial because it can measure an understanding of concept that can be used. It can be used indicator of learning source to meet competency standard. Give the importance of development critical thinking test assessment instrument and measuring critical thinking ability necessary to map review research result in development of critical thinking test instrument that have been constructed.
Methods. This study used the data retrieval method, search library research, literature study by applying the bibliometric analyze method. Bibliometric is a methodology for analyzing and evaluating scientific articles. The literature used mathematical statistical approach. Data collection techniques should publish or Paris PUB were conducted in July 2021 to generate secondary data or research or journal articles and preceding conference from Scopus in Google Scholar database with title keyword researches data research thinking test instrument with the keyword basic generates 40 metadata in the form or journal articles preceding in this metadata research are copied Microsoft Excel and selected with limitation in journal articles. Reading articles to continue with research topics and objective, inserting in student and journal articles and each preceding articles.
Number 3. Results in discussion. Based on interrelationship and similarity of work in the title of abstract with methods of calculation of the whole, counting views of visualization of the results of bibliometric analysis seen in Figure 1. Figure 1. Network visualization of the critical thinking test instrument. Based on visualization, Figure 1 to 8, cluster of mappings are arranged by sorting the items so that they become topics of discussion according to the research topic in Table 1.
So, table number 1, cluster mapping results. Number 1 is red. Indicator option instrument paper results their diagnostic test. And number 2 is green. Ability critical thinking instrument, CIT effect, research method, skill study topic. Then number 3 is blue. Analysis critical thinking reliabilities during critical thinking test. Undergraduate university validation. So, based on the items in the cluster, it can be mapped into topic trust as development method, critical thinking skills assessment instrument, indicator of problems development, question validity result, subject, testing medium, in critical thinking skills, and materials often used for the development of critical thinking problems described as follows.
So next, conclusion, which is literature review results that have been presented above can be concluded the development critical thinking. This instrument can be developed to the development model of red design. The form of the question kit is a multiple choice open-ended AC description test. In diagnostic test regarding the indicators of critical thinking that amounts in passion have put forward. The problem set is testing the instrument testability to the validity and reliability of the problem. Problem set is testing the instrument testability to the validity, reliability of the problem valid from the instrument will be test on student. Student and pre-job teacher assisted by paper, test media and the web along with application with often test material namely optics.
Author's contribution. All authors conceive and design the study. The authors contribute to the process of receiving manuscript. And at the end, all authors have provide the final vision of this manuscript. Question for critical thinking.
Who has the word? John Dewey, 1910, 7482, introduced the term of critical thinking as the name of educational goal, which identified which scientific attitude of mind. More commonly, he called the goal reflection, growth, reflective thinking, reflection, or just thought or thinking.
What we did goals objectives. Identify the assumption needed to analyze the case or problem. Identify the relevant information presented in the case or problem. Identify the alternative solution to the problem or case. Derive the solution or discuss the best solution to the problem or case.
C. What was their research question, if any? The 5 research question. What information do I need? Where do I find information? Which information can I trust? How can I use new information in my writing? How can I use information ethically?
So D. What were their methods in terms of, but not limited to? Critical thinking is a kind of thinking in which you question, analyze, interpret, evaluate, and make a judgment about what you read. Hear, see, or write. The term critical comes from the Greek word kritikos, man, able to judge or discern.
So, how have they gathered relevant data? Here are 5 steps to follow to simplify the process of gathering information. Number 1, ask the right question. Number 2, find the information sources. Number 3, find the information you need from your source. Number 4, apply your own knowledge and experiences. Number 5, consider many sources.
How is the data gathering set up? There are 7 steps to critical thinking. First, identify the problem. Before you put those critical thinking skills to work, you first need to identify the problem you're solving. Second, research. Third, determine data relevance. Fourth, ask question. Fifth, identify the best solution. 6, present your solution. And last, analyze your decision.
What are the tools and techniques used in data gathering? Many different methodologies can be used in data collecting and analysis. Most use around the core set of basic tools. Those include interviews, team group, discussion, observation, photography, video, survey, questionnaire, and case study.
How do they form the data set? Data analysis requires you to think critically by probing, connecting disparate parts, synthesizing, etc. Likewise, critical thinking is enabled by the ability to think analytically and apply tools to help extract insight in actionable information from data.
How do they clean or arrange the relevant data? How to think critically. Number 1, identify a problem or issue. 2, create inferences or why the problem exists and how it can be solved. 3, collect information or data on the issue through research. 4, organize in short data and findings. 5, develop and execute solution. 6, analyze with solution, work on didn't work.
So, how do they process the data? 6 case step to development your critical thinking skills and mindset. So, clarify your thinking, purpose, and context. Next is question your sources. Number 3 is identify arguments. And number 4 is analysis causes and arguments. And number 5 is evaluate the arguments of others. And number 6 is create your own argument.
What were their findings? Critical thinking refers to the ability to evaluate information and to be aware of biases or assumptions including your own. Like information literacy, it involves evaluating arguments, identifying and solving problems in objectives and systematic way, and clearly communicating your ideas.
What were the gaps in their studies or findings? The gap also considered the missing piece or pieces in the research literature. Is the area that has not yet been explored or is underexplored. This could be a population or sample size, type, location, etc. Research method that collect and or analyzes or other research variables or conditions. Critical thinking refers to the ability to evaluate information and to be aware and basis or assumption including your own.
What are the takeaways from this paper? Key takeaways. It involves using all available resources to solve a problem, as against a gut feeling solution. It is the ability to think critically about problems and their solution. It requires a willingness to question one's own beliefs and assumptions as well as those of others.